Uno see me die in trial, Jamaica. Uno no see say Jamaica no want Mark Golding. Not even for opposition leader, much less for turn prime minister. But serious thing, you know. Mark Golding should have get a big stone, but him a take chain from around big stone, neck, you know. But that aside, listen, Andrew Holness, everybody a vote for, you know. The woman them prefer Andrew Holness because woman no like man we no have no plan, you know, and Mark Golding no have no plan.
Andrew Holness has been head of government for nearly 9 years. In fact, he's about 3 weeks shy of that mark. During his term in office, Holness has faced a once-in-a-generation pandemic that battered the economy, a largely grim reality of crimes, and multiple weather-related shocks. But it would appear at least 42% of Jamaicans believe he's handled it all well. Those voters rate Dr. Holness's performance in office as good.
Yeah.
It's the highest job approval rating the Prime Minister has received in the nationwide Blue Dot polls
Better
since
with
September
time.
2023.
Yeah.
A largely grim reality of crimes and
Big
multiple
challenges.
weather-related shocks. But it would appear at least 42% of Jamaicans believe he's handled it all well. Those voters rate Dr. Holness's performance in office as good. It's the highest job approval rating the Prime Minister has received in the
Andrew Holness is tried and tested. So the people have confidence in him because they've seen how well him hold up during these shocking events as it relates to, you know, weather and the pandemic and all these different scenarios. We haven't seen where Mark Golding has even presented good ideas during this time, or we not even see where him show any kind of capability or responsibility or care towards the people during some of the toughest times. We're at a place right now where we know that incumbent parties, they have a difficult time holding on to leadership because people tend to want change when challenges come. But we've seen PNP before, and who would want to change from a government who performs during difficulties, even more than some of the big country them? Who wants to change a government that is accountable about what is happening? It is so easy for PNP to just jump on any unfinished project and project all kinds of insecurities and project all kinds of negative thoughts about what's really happening in the government. But we know that the PNP is not a viable alternative for the current JLP. The JLP that's been in office for almost 9 years now. So the people are still giving Andrew his rating in every single metric that they're looking at. Andrew's favorability is higher than Mark Golding's, and it does not come as a surprise. So come election day, you know, we expect a comfortable win for JLP, but Labour rights, let us not get complacent.
In fact, Dr. Holness's positive job approval rating has nearly returned to the high of 43% recorded in September of 2022.
Show our Labour rights.
The data suggests a steady upward trajectory in public approval of the Prime Minister's performance.
Steady upward trajectory, which means to say the thing just continues to get better. The approval rating continues to increase on a steady basis, and we're happy about that. So we love that. Great job to Dr. Andrew Holness, and we know that with a third term, Jamaica is only going to get better.
In September 2023, only 32% of voters said Holness was doing a good job. That moved to 36% in February 2024. It continued to improve in September that year when it moved to 40%. It now stands at 42%.
Incline.
This suggests the Prime Minister's positive job approval has increased by 10 percentage points over the last 2 years.
Wow.
Those who rate the...
That has to be a government that is working. And that's very impressive. I mean, there is no doubt when you look all over the country, you see the hand of the Prime Minister just making Jamaica better, taking Jamaica to new heights. And we want to continue on that trajectory. We're not changing that at all.
Minister's performance, as average, has remained consistent at 32% since last September.
Some people,
Notably, that
can't
has
change.
fallen by 5 percentage points from the 37% who held the same view in February last year. Perhaps the best news in this data for Dr. Holness is the fact that the pollsters found a decline in the number of voters who believed he has been doing a poor job.
So, a decline in the amount of voters that believe that Andrew is doing a poor job. And we know that for some people, they're not going to acknowledge what they see. But in comparison to any previous PNP administration, there is absolutely no doubt that Andrew has outperformed them, and Mark Golden has not shown in any way that he could be the better prime minister, the better alternative for Jamaica right now. And that's why the people choose Andrew, and Mark Golden is being rejected, and rightfully so.
That now stands at 26%. It's the lowest poor rating Holness has received since 2022.
So Andrew Holness is getting better with time, you know. People, a lot of people, when they're performing, as time goes by, they get worse. But Andrew is more seasoned, more conscientious. Andrew is tried and proven on the world stage, unlike Proven, which is owned by Mark Golden, which is not even proven. So he's the man for the job, and we're going to make it known when the news comes out, because we're not going to be deterred by all the negativity that PNP is trying to put into the People's News Media Party, or whatever they call themselves.
It's also nearly 10 percentage points lower than the high of 37% that said he was doing a poor job in September 2023. The pollsters described it as a softening of negative perceptions of the Prime Minister. This softening in negative...
So the people that might give Andrew a break. We know that Mark not like Andrew, and enough of them not like Andrew. Even Dayton, we out there wear pink clocks, them know. They don't like Andrew, but they have to follow Andrew. But we see what's going on. But listen, we have a more mature, more educated electorate, and thanks to those who are out here toiling and telling the people the truth, and the people who know, say, a lot of what the PNP is going on with right now is just empty talk. People want more than that. It's 2025. People want better for themselves and their families. And the JLP proves, say, Jamaica can be better if the leaders choose to work for the country. So we're sticking with JLP, man.
Perception comes as Dr. Holness is mulling the best date to
call it, Andrew, call it.
nationwide view
Them
polls
love
were
Talbot.
conducted among 1,500 registered voters between January 21 and February 1.
All nationwide affair truly PNP right now. Call it, Andrew. Empty talk.
It's a margin of error of plus or minus 2.5%.
Very small margin of error, so what, over 1,500 individuals polled, and you hear what is happening. So Jamaica chooses Andrew, and by choosing Andrew, Jamaica is saying no to Mark Golden and the PNP. Our country desires better leaders and better governance. And until the PNP ready to rebuild itself into a party that can be a viable option to this JLP, the JLP must get a third and a fourth and a fifth and a whole lot more terms, because Jamaica must move forward, and we will no longer allow the PNP to hold us back. Go in the comments and let me know what you think right now. This is the Steady saying. Like, share, and subscribe. Steady.